every now and then I get a whiskey that for one reason or another I'm expecting it to be one thing and it ends up being something else. Sometimes it just needs time to open up. It needs time to become what I was expecting. And here's one that I've been getting into over the last 3 months, and it is a 14-year-old Jura, made with aged 14 years in an American rye cask, or at least that's what it says on the label. Now, I think I found that to be more spicy than 100% rye, which is weird. I don't know why that would be, but I'm going to pour myself a glass now, and I'm going to try it and see if that wryness, if that spiciness has done some mellowing out and settling down. In fact, that's what I was predicting that it would do. So I'm going to try that. 14-year-old Jura, bottled at 40% ABV. As you probably know, if you've been watching my channel a lot, you'd understand that I like to start with a low ABV and move up to something stronger as the night progresses. And usually at the end, I'm up to something cask strength or at least 46% ABV. Sometimes it's more. So here, we've got our 14-year-old Jura. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of that sour note that I often get from a rye cask. And this actually reminds me of beer. The rye cask, yeah, the rye cask gives a little bit of that sour note and a woody note. Rather than vanilla and caramel that you would get out of an ex-bourbon barrel. Now, the question is, which kind of rye was it? Were the barrels coming from? Probably an American rye and not a Canadian rye. So it's like using a bourbon barrel, but it's going to be more sour. That's what I get anyway. More sour and more spicy than a bourbon barrel. It reminds me of beer. Like a bit bitter, as the hops would make beer. The nose is all right. I like the nose. Okay. It's still quite spicy. But it's not as spicy as it was. It's mellowed out a little bit. It's full flavored. There's a lot of flavor here. It's just that it's not the kind of flavor you'd expect from a Scotch. It tastes more like an American rye. Let's see what it says here. It says maturation. American White Oak, ex-bourbon, and hand-selected American rye barrels. Well, there you go. So there's some bourbon barrels and some rye barrels. And the spiciness and the sourness overpower what you'd be getting out of the bourbon barrels, the vanilla and caramel, which are there, but they're overpowered by the rye. This is quite viscous. Look at the size of the drops on there. It's become a better dram than it was at the neck pour. You'd have to like American rye to appreciate this. Fortunately, I do. Yeah, getting back to this one, it'll work. Yeah, now that I've come back to it. Yeah, it's woody too. Woody, a little sour, a little spicy. Tiny little bit of vanilla and caramel, but it's overpowered by the rye, like I said before. So I'd be just repeating myself if I said any more. Slanchova.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.